Hello and welcome back. I've missed you guys. We've all missed you guys. How are you all doing? We're doing another live show here, April 19th. Taking a bit of a hiatus, but now we're back.
From the dead.
Approximately. New Mexico, but, and...
From the dead.
and ready to catch up. And yeah, so it's all three of us, including Disembodied Voice Man.
Yes, that's me. But you can't say we're back from New Mexico because we're still in New Mexico.
We are still in New Mexico. That's true.
We're just live from New Mexico.
See, we are once again live.
Exactly. Right. So, with that said, it is so good to be back. I've got quite a few things to go over to kind of catch up, but mostly I really wanted to know what you all have been up to. How has the new year, 2023, treated you from a hobby perspective, a gaming perspective? There's been a bunch of stuff in gaming news to come out. I hear a new edition of a really popular game has been announced. And there's also all kinds of drama around it, which is hardly new, but, you know, maybe worth talking about. So yeah, that's I think where we may start the day. I'm just going to say hi to everyone in the chat real quick, and thank you, as always, Paul, for being my wonderful, protective moderator, watching parts of the chat so I can just read the best parts. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you, Mr. Kyle. Thomas Grable, good to see you as well. Revek, welcome, welcome. Annette Red, hello. Hello, Stream Elements. The Plunder Den, good to see you. Jacob, 3 months, right? Well, we last did one, the middle of January, I think. So all of middle of February, middle of March, then middle of April, yes. So 3 months later, what all have we accomplished in that time? Jeremy, yay, you're all back. We are all back.
Is it 3 months or 4? I feel like it's been 4.
No, we did do a stream in January.
I thought the last one we did was in December.
I don't think so. It was actually in January.
I don't know. I wasn't here for it.
Somebody keeps getting sick and then injured and then... Anyway.
Not on purpose.
We said hi to Revok. Did you see his last name?
Cronenberg?
Yeah.
Yes.
You saw a Cronenberg film just recently, didn't you?
Yeah, so what was it, a few weeks ago? A couple weeks ago? I don't remember. Some period of time ago. I recently had my first experience watching The Fly, which...
Oh, yeah, that your first experience watching The Fly is one you never forget.
No, and it really sticks with you for days afterward, where you're like, but what about this thing? Oh my gosh, and then this other scene, and his nails, and his vomit, and all the body horror of it. Oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
So anyway, while I'm very happy to have watched it, I don't know that it's a movie I would watch again. You're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I honestly feel that way about like Train Spotting, where I'm like, no, it's a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. I never want to see that movie again. Yay, greetings. Jacob, terrible. Literally have a migraine that's been going on for about 7 or 8 months now. That sounds like something you really...
That sounds medical?
That does, dude. I assume by you saying that you've probably had somebody like look at it, but you're gonna have to look into some diet, sleep, something because that ain't right. Holy crap. Couldn't imagine. I don't think I would do well that long in pain. If I had a headache for like a week, I'm pretty fed up with everything. Anyway, I do hope you feel better, Jacob. Jeremy, quit my job, retired from the Army Reserves, joined a podcast with Savage Brewski, nice, and I'm close to launching my own channel. Wow, Jeremy, moving and shaking. Good job, man.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thomas, woohoo. Let's see. Absolutely nothing is helping. Oh, dude. I don't know. There's got to be something out there. Don't give up. Patty's Parlor, hey friends, I've missed you so much. Good to see you. Costing me the ability to go to school. I mean, it would cost you the ability to do basically anything. Do you get the migraines that actually cause like the blindness? I know Disembodied Voice gets the migraines that cause blindness, where I just get long headaches that just make me upset for a long time. But I have actually found my own solutions of helping with that. Revek, no relation, by the way. The Fly is cool. Check out Scanners too. Was it Scanners? What was the other? Shivers.
Yeah,
Was
Shivers.
the other one we were talking about?
Yeah, you'll be in a movie with somebody from Shivers soon,
Oh yeah,
with Lynn Lowry.
with Lynn Lowry. That'll be fun. Let's see. How have you never seen The Fly, and how didn't I know this? There's so many movies that are on like the classics list that it took me forever to get around. I was an adult before I watched The Princess Bride. Like I had some serious catching up to do.
That is a problem. But
Yeah.
then again, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I haven't seen some classics, so.
Right? I mean, I was an adult when I saw The Sound of Music, and I'm like, wow, it's a really good movie.
Jake Dogg's new name?
Jason and Jake Dog, R.I.P. What happened? Hi. Mr. Kyle, body horror is really something on its own. I'd probably stick with just a single watch of The Fly. It's probably enough. It really is. I mean, that's definitely not my jam, but I will say it is, from a cultural impact, movie, storytelling perspective, very impactful.
Also, just for fun, you guys should go on YouTube and look at the behind the scenes where they're puppeting like at the very end, whenever it's like
Oh, yeah?
the big fly thing, but when they're puppeting it and getting it to work and everything, it's actually fascinating. Like it is really intricate.
Well, yeah, there is definitely some of the, the behind the scenes, like any of the practical effects are always a joy to watch. Jacob. Oh, gosh. I'm just going to spend the whole rest of the chat worried about you, mister. There are definitely solutions somewhere for you. You just have to keep looking. Paul Greer, welcome. Hello from Texas. Howdy, neighbor. Have you tried praying to the God Emperor? Savage Brewski, wahoo, nice to see you. Miranda Flo, nice to see you in chat.
Hello.
Did you see Illinois Farmer?
Illinois Farmer, oh, Queen Miranda. Well, thank you. It's a title I wouldn't turn down. Let's see, Mr. Kyle, this year family's growing. I'm going to be a dad. Oh, congratulations. It's always very exciting news. And possibly, well, I mean, new flock to teach your hobbies to, right? Because it's like the positive thing where you're like, oh no, am I not going to have time for this hobby anymore because of the needs of like a new kid? And then you're like, wait a minute, I should be able to meld this. And I'm sure there's, you probably have to watch out for some safety things, like not letting them eat your super glue or use your hobby knives. But then you get to teach them.
You can just wait until they're past the age where they're going to break all your models.
So Dylan was telling me about I think it's a Steam game. It's a competitive game called Dad Simulator.
Oh, God.
And it's you and one other person. One person plays the dad, and one person plays a baby. And
Oh, God.
the baby's job is to race around trying to kill himself by crawling into the oven or finding a fork and plugging it into a outlet or poisoning himself or whatever. And the dad's job is to run around this house and like hide the bleach and lock the cabinets and lock the oven. And
That's amazing. I think it would be very stressful to play, but it'd be really fun to watch people.
yeah, that'd be interesting, right?
Well, I feel like the player versus player aspect is what really makes that.
For sure. Because you're dealing with the baby in the mind, but with the mind of like an adult who's like
What can
motivated.
I fill myself with?
Motivated.
Oh, well, let me tell you.
Oh, man. Plundered just got back from my very first Adepticon.
I remember my first Adepticon and only Adepticon. Maybe next year we can go again.
Well, we were going to go this year, and then plans changed, but yeah. It was really amazing. Met some interesting people. I was super proud that I won Best Painted Army in the Blood and Plunder tournament. Dude, that's awesome. How perfect and on brand for you. So congratulations. No, Adepticon is always a wonderful, wonderful convention to attend. It's, depending on where you're having to come from, kind of expensive and a little bit logistically frustrating if you are not staying at the hotel right there. But it's always really, really fun. Great people. Decent attendance, like 4,000 to 4,500, I want to say, in attendance usually. I don't know what this year's numbers look like. And I think it was this Adepticon that they announced, that GW announced 10th edition, I believe. Kellis Rain, grats to Mr. Kyle, yes. Let's see. Patty's Parlor. I finally released Mutants. Nice. So I still haven't read the book, although I appreciate you sending it to me, and I will read it.
Now that's going to be on. He released it. Is that on the? I'm blanking on the website name. One Page Rules or.
Give me
what's it
some
called?
details on it, Patty. How's it? Where can people find it?
Yeah, we'll plug it for you.
Let's see. Last live stream. Oh, it was the 29th of December. Never mind. I didn't do one this year at all. Fine. 3.5 months.
I was pretty sure we hadn't done anything this year.
Question: do you have Kasserkin? No. I have Scions. And the reason I don't have Kasserkin is because I already had Scions. And I was spending a lot of money on GW products by this point. With 2 Ruggle Dorns, Leontis, the Cadia Stands box set. I think we still plan to buy a unit of Cadian shock troops. I've got 2 units of Death Corps Krieg. I've got like 3 Lehman Russes that I still need to put together.
You have more Lehman Russes than that.
That needs to be assembled still?
Uh,
Because we also have ones that are
3 or
assembled that
4.
need to be repainted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, from the rumor of some of the new 10th edition stuff coming out, transports are getting a huge bump in like usefulness. So I might have a reason to buy like, what are they?
What, some Chimeras?
Yeah, I guess
or-
a Chimera.
We already
or-
have. Well, we have
I have,
one.
I have a Stormlord, which is a transport. Maybe I can finally assemble that.
But you also have a Taurox. That's what you have.
I have 2 Taurox primes actually, but they are primes,
You
yeah.
have 2 of them?
But they technically are only usable for Scions, but who knows what the new edition will say. So no, I do not have Kasserkin. I have watched the Kasserkin bomb, which I assume, I mean, I know it didn't get FAQ'd, so people are still, using it, but honestly, you can get pretty far with Scions, and I'm a casual player enough where I'm not gonna go chasing minis. That seems like such a frustrating
Experience.
It is, yeah. I mean, Kasserkin were going for like black market prices on eBay as the result of that. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
No, thank you.
What is everyone working on? That's a great question, Paul. What are you all working on? And what have you been working on? Like the first quarter of this year, like what are some of your hobby achievements? Jake Dog passed away December, needed some anesthetics at the vet and didn't handle them well. I'm sorry. Rest in peace. Moment for Jake Dog. Jacob Fisher. I've literally tried everything, and it only takes the edge off. Dude, I don't know, man. Paul, I'm working on my Black Legion for my daughter. Nice. Andrew Fairbanks. Don't worry, I'm here now. Yeah, I appreciated your comment on my YouTube. Where he's like, I told everybody you went out for cigarettes. Let's see, my Paul Greer, my Doxy just hit 18, but he isn't doing too well. 18, I mean, I know miniature dachshunds, I assume, or dachshunds in general have pretty long lives, but our little puppy Daisy made it to, 15?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's like you want your animals to grow old in your life because that means they've had a good life, but then you have the burden of
Having your animals for
outliving
a long time.
Yeah. And there's all that attachment, and then, but such is life. Thanks, Paul. I'm still pretty depressed about it. He was only 4 years old, so very young and unexpected. My cousin is going through a similar thing. I'm trying to remember the type of dog she has. It's like one of those bigger dogs with the smushed face, like a bulldog of sorts. And he's dealing with this very rare kind of tumor that's growing under his heart, and just, but it's been growing there probably for years. So it doesn't even seem like it's necessarily cancerous, but because it keeps growing, it's compressing everything. And that type of breed of dog, which, I mean, there's a whole ethical argument about having breeds of dog like that, which to my cousin's credit, she just adopted him. She didn't try to get that breed or whatever, but they have problems breathing. They have I don't know, whatever the
This
equivalent of like a
next thing.
deviated septum is. Like they literally just don't have the capacity to get a lot of oxygen into their body. So it's really easy to exhaust them. And, you know, they oftentimes need surgery. In fact, for her dog, she even had like a palate surgery done to open more airways to his lungs. But because it's pushing on that, like they're giving him chemo to try and shrink it, but I don't know how long that's going to last. It's like just the crappy medical problems that come with old age. But he's also, I think he's only 5 or something. Like he's kind of young. So, Jacob Fisher, speaking of new models, I've got some classic models. I've got the Space Marine Commander, the Space Marine Chaplain with jump pack, and the Masters of the Chapter. Oh, and the Librarian from in Terminator armor. Like classic models, like classic as of the 90s, or?
Yeah, basically, like the classic metal ones, I think.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of big, but they're also small, basically, right?
Kind of.
Okay.
What a way to describe those.
It's a good size. What's good, everyone? Hey, Shell, how you doing? That dad simulator game is called Who's Your Daddy? Ashley has it on her wish list. Of course. Of course. That game honestly looks freaking hilarious. Like, Paul, I would totally play that with you.
I would play it.
Adepticon was awesome. I got an award for Armies on Parade. I always loved watching the Armies on Parade at Adepticon. Like, just because that was like where the team gets together to make something. And because I would interview them, usually what happened is there'd be like 1 or 2 members of the team who actually like kind of put everything together. And so they were the most sleep-deprived people because it all went together like the night before. It's great. We have 4 more pups. I miss having puppies. Not enough to actually have one,
I was gonna say not enough to get another one, but
but I do miss them. Like every time I see them, or I've been, my guilty pleasure has been watching like baby sloth videos. Because they're basically one of the cutest animals on earth, and they're always perpetually smiling, and they literally look like Muppets, which just sings to my heart. So, but then, you know, puppies, close second.
Sasha's getting up there in age for sure.
Oh yeah, you've got Skeletor cat soon. She's very sweet.
She's still super sweet.
Yeah. My cat's actually finally getting nice in her old age because she was a brat for a really, really long time. And now she's like, you know what? Human protection's really nice. Who wants to talk about the new bolt gun game coming out? Yeah, Paul was sending me some screenshots of that. So
It's the one that looks like Doom, basically.
It looks
right?
like Doom.
The trailer or the commercial for it or whatever is really cool. I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
There is, so you saw the trailer for it then?
Yeah, where it's like on a 3.5-inch floppy disk, and he has like all the
Yeah,
all
but you saw the
graffiti on it.
graphics of him running
Oh,
around
yeah,
with like
yeah,
the
it looks like
90s
Doom.
style, or yeah, I guess
It's
90s
like some
style.
Wolfenstein or some Doom or something.
Did you notice the backgrounds? Because they're, I guess, full 3D renders.
Yeah, I mean the Doom is a really actually a 3D game. Well,
Well, but I mean,
It kind of was.
graphics-wise, they're significantly more detailed, the backgrounds are, than the bad guys who look like sprites running
oh,
at
are
you.
they? Oh, I
and
didn't notice that.
Okay. Paul noticed that, and he couldn't not notice that. And so I didn't know if, like, that bothered really anybody else.
I haven't seen any significant gameplay though. I just saw that one trailer, and so they're just cutting from shot to shot to shot pretty
Yeah.
fast. So.
That's true. It does look like fun. It definitely does.
Oh, you have played the Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Cannoli,
Yes.
and Orcs, and Wog, and
Oh my
Teeth,
gosh.
and what's
Paul,
it
what's
called?
the name of that game? It's, what is it? Blood, Teeth, something, DACA. It's the, it's the cannoli game with orcs. And we got kind of far. Like, it's much more fun as a 2-player game. And the controls are kind of wonky because it's kind of like Dark Tide where your mouse just is always attached. And
Yeah, well, it's wherever your mouse is where you're shooting.
we're
right?
aiming, yeah.
Yeah, I played Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Cannoli at Joel's house one night for a Media Glitch stream. And so I'm familiar with that as gameplay, but I haven't played the Orc one yet. It looks awesome, though.
Nice. So yeah, that one looks pretty fun. It seems to be pretty anticipated, and I want to say it comes out in May, if I recall. But I'm still trying to make time for Dark Tide. I fell off the wagon with that, you kind of like upgraded my character for me for a while I was like busy working, and then I was like, I don't know that I'm as good as you anymore at playing my character. Now I'm nervous to come back. Let's see. Veil of Darkness, Orgoth and Circle on the paint desk, as well as Necrons for Grimdark Future. Love it.
Ah, more Necrons, huh? Me too.
Orgoth and Circle. How are you liking the new Orgoth models? I've seen some of them, and they seem pretty cool. Circle always has gorgeous models. And then Necrons are just fun as hell. So.
Until you paint a million of them.
How many
Right
Necrons
before you
have
hit that
painted
millionth
now?
one.
Do you even know anymore?
How many I've done? I have no clue.
Dozens.
So many Necrons.
Easily.
Oh, yeah,
It's probably
definitely
closer to
dozens.
100.
Oh my gosh. Well, that still falls under dozens. Let's see, I'm building 3 Cataphren Breachers. Nice, Jeremy. Mr. Kyle, I am currently painting Scorn Cataphract Arcuary and have some more Scorn in the mail. Tonight I'm just on War Machine Tactics. Oh, the video game? Oh, nice. Hope you're enjoying it. Paul, I barely did any hobby this year until this month when I got my 3D printer. Ah, 3D printer. It's the most likely solution to GW's product shortages.
No, it's like the high prices aren't going to drive people to it as much as the product shortage. That's what piracy is usually at this point, is just if something's a pain in the butt to get, then you'll
And you're
pirate
just
it.
gonna pirate it, because why
Whereas
would
normally
you
you would
otherwise?
have paid for it if it was like, $20 movie or something, like whatever, I guess. But if you just can't find or can't get a stream to it, you're
Yeah,
like, well,
you can't.
it'll
Well,
be
I
on the
guess
high
I'm-
seas.
I guess I'm gonna get it and keep it then.
Well, and no, you can even throw money at just some knockoff model. You're still paying for something, but it's just accessible.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and it's not even really piracy. You're just proxying a model at that point, which who cares most of the time?
GW cares.
Who has to go?
Down the way, Jake Dog.
Oh. Oh, well, thank you for joining us.
Hello, goodbye.
Our condolences, seriously. But thanks for hanging out. But yes, congratulations to Paul. He's got his, I believe, resin 3D printer.
I think he has one of the ones that we have.
Yeah, I want to say it's the one.
The Photon 4K, I think it was.
Was it a 4K or 6K, Paul? But yeah, like the number of models you can get are just stunning. I mean, actually, you
That
have
was
a 3D
actually the
print here,
problem.
too.
Yeah, I have some 3D prints with me right here. That's one of the problems I was running into, though, is that I couldn't paint faster than DJ could print.
Yeah, then you get a different problem, right? Of there's just so many. I have them everywhere.
Well, you might be able to. You paint pretty fast, but I think they would print a lot, but he wouldn't assemble and prime them fast enough to keep up.
I actually, of ones that he has assembled and primed, like, I can see the end. Doesn't mean he's not going to print or get more, but I can see the end of it.
Oh,
He actually
well.
showed me the end of it. I'm like, oh my god.
It's attainable. Yeah, I'm the,
And then the new edition's going to come out, and I'm going to have to do new ones.
he's going to be like, this list is garbage. Yeah, on the turntable here, we've got my, looks like Cadians that Flo painted up for me earlier this year. So I've got 2 units of Cadian Shock Troopers, 2 units of Deathcorp Krieg that are painted up.
And I'll
looking-
put one of those up in a little while.
Well, I wonder if can we get one up of each of the 2 units because they have a different color scheme? But then do you have one of
They
your,
look very similar for these ones.
there's
2.
Yeah,
there's the
grab
one
them
with the
real quick.
dark blue.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then do you have one of those 3D prints around? I just want to do a comparison. Your tan looked awesome. Shit. I was gonna say, let's throw one on there. Show you what I'm talking about. Because these 3D printers, man, they're freaking phenomenal. He's a long hair, full-size doxy. Oh, wow. 18 years. What a good time for him. Like, the happiest dog ever, right? His whole life. He's only ever known, like, you and just been this happy dog. Shay, I gotta figure out how to strip out parentheticals in unit names. Savage Brewski, let's see, as mentioned, podcasting with Patty and Jeremy, making a game board out of floor tiling and a few paint challenges. Nice. Andrew, sorting through magic, commons, and uncommons, throwing away everything with less than 500 deck lists on EDHREC. Half the pile is gone. Oh, magic. Greetings from Spain. Hello, Manuel.
So I'm gonna go ahead and switch these out then.
All right, yeah, let's do that. So we'll show you real quick. Bye, little Cadian shock troopers. They've done a pretty good job. You know, it still bugs me to fight in the Russian style of putting the men in front of tanks, but I'm getting better at it. I had quite a few games of 40K in the month of February, and then completely fell off in March because we had our trip to LA for the premiere of Craving, which was the movie I was in, which is super, super exciting. And then it was also my birthday month, and we were like, I don't know, working on some other projects. Basically, all my weekends kept getting full up. But now, in April here, I've just been like, just doing other things. So I need to just get back to gaming because it is.
Oh, we also went out of town to Las Cruces as well, I think.
That's right. I
I
did.
gotta lift it up a little.
Yeah, let's lift that up. All right, so here is a Catan. See if I can get the focus to work a little better here. This here is a 3D print. All right. So check him out, all pretty and painted and all that sort of thing. And I mean, that's a model that I have no idea what he paid for it or whatever, but in your own home, a day later, all ready to go. Achilles, my retribution for Boker Brawl, cutting it close. Oh, Andrew, a dog will be a small part of your life, but you will be most of theirs. Exactly, Andrew. Patty's Parlor, thanks for stopping by, Jason. Love to you, brother. Jacob Fisher, I may or may not have pre-ordered it. Plunderden, I built all sorts of terrain projects on my channel, but my favorite is a nesting village I came up with so I could bring more terrain to Adepticon. This village was used on the final game table. Dude, that's awesome. How big was the Blood and Plunder, area? Was it, competing with Malifaux size, or, was it pretty significant player participation? And well, I liked your 3-part Space Hulk battle reports. Any plans to make more? Well, we kind of kept
Well, the
getting
last
frustrated
one.
with it, yeah.
Well, yeah, the last one. I don't even know if it's hit 10,000 views yet. It's hardly got any interest in it at all. The game's kind of old at this point, but I also don't know if GW's about to release a new
Another
Space Hulk thing, because the terrain they've been doing for Kill Team
All look like
is
Space
very
Hulk.
Space Hulk-esque, and there just keeps being a lot of rumblings about it. And so if they do a Space Hulk thing like that, then yes, I could see us definitely doing another thing like that. But I don't know. We I don't know if we would pick up the old one.
There at the time, so we will see what happens in the future.
Which sucks, so they really like how completely compartmentalized the game is, and the miniatures are all painted, and you just take the same dudes or bits of them for each mission, and the missions have a story element. Space Hulk it really seems perfectly tailored for a video series.
No, and it looks great too. Although the next one we were looking at is a huge game.
That's true. That was also the
It's a little
intimidation of
daunting.
oh god, it's gonna take all day, 2 days to record or something. So plans to make more are kind of on hold right now, honestly, because there's the idea that there might be a new Space Hulk coming out, in which case probably lean it toward that. And then the other thing is just sort of practically speaking, if we're going to do more battle reports, they probably just have to be 40K, which then
Yeah.
brings up the new question of, well, are we going to do this edition, or are we going to wait for the new edition? Because I don't know when 10th edition is supposed to come out. I mean, it's the $1 million question, right? Let's see. What's good, painting people? Hi, Todd. Welcome to the chat. Shooter's Blood and Teeth. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Paul. Yes, that game is pretty fun. It's very juvenile? I don't know. It's
It's a
lighthearted.
very Jackass sort of game.
Very much Jackass game, yeah.
It's very orc.
Yeah.
Paul, with Bolt Gun, I was saying to Miranda, the character and enemies are Doom style 2.5D, but the backgrounds are higher res 3D, so like Quake 2, which is a game I didn't play. It seemed fine, but I could see where, maybe it just clashes, it's too different looking.
Well, the 2.5D, the way that they did the original Doom, I could definitely understand why they wouldn't do that, but I would be surprised that they have higher resolution, right? That they wouldn't just force lower resolution mapping on the backgrounds is a little bit surprising.
I don't know. I hear that, but then at the same time, so I was an enormous, obviously I'm super Zelda obsessed. Well, if you don't know me, I'm very Legend of Zelda obsessed. And one of my favorite games in the Legend of Zelda series is Majora's Mask. And Tommy would always make fun of me because in Majora's Mask, you run around in
Shanty towns, that's what they are.
In the little town in the
In
village.
District 9, basically.
And he would say it looked like sheet metal was on the walls because the resolution was so low. It just all looked very shanty.
It looked like sheet metal with graffiti on it.
It's beautiful. It was a medieval village. And so in thinking about that, which has been bored in my head for however many years at this point, even when they remastered it, it kind of still had that look. And so I'm like, well, I guess if you have the backgrounds look good enough that you're not questioning what they are, then maybe it doesn't really clash that badly. So that's all I'll say on that. Jacob, yeah, I find the old 90s style games really interesting. Kitty, hi. Hi, Kitty. Veil of Darkness 000 Orgath models are actually pretty beefy. The normal Trooper towers over some of the older models. Well, and everything going to the 3D resin, the 3D print resins, they tend to grow. There's a growth creep with those.
Well, there's a little chubbier overall for ease of printing, I think.
Well, ease of printing and also creating the cavities for magnetization.
Yeah, for sure.
Jacob, I love them. Played 90s shooters for the first time around. I need to see more bullet gun to see if the difference between enemies and environments is too jarring. Oh, Patty and Kitty, are you not near each other today? Oh. Todd, piracy is a service issue.
Yeah, oftentimes.
More
there's some
often than
people-
not, having known many pirates in my life, Dad. Anyway, there are people who will pirate because they just will never spend a dime on anything as a religion. And then there's the way more common one of the people who just can't be bothered. You made it so hard to get something, so they just find an alternate route. In the parallel economy, if you will. So, anyway. Let's see. Oh, I'm firing up my 3D printer, Patty says. This week, I'm making mutants with Titancraft. Going to try and make videos about them and then do a how to play video if I can figure it out. Sweet. Paul, Anycubic Photon Mono 4K.
That was great.
Sent a ton of prints to Miranda. Haven't gotten them yet, but I'm waiting. Anyway. Scarroral? I'm sure I butchered your name, sorry. Jacob Fisher, Resin Pile of Chain. Yeah, painting is such a bottleneck to the hobby for sure. And assembly can be too. So
Assembly seems to be the biggest bottleneck.
Well, yeah, right. Depending on
Who you are.
Right.
And what your preference is. For me, assembly is definitely the bottleneck.
I've done a lot of assembly this year. The last 4 months, I assembled my Rogel Dorn. I assembled all my Cadian, all my Deathcore Krieg. I'm working on the Attilan Rough Riders now. Which isn't hard, it's just fiddly, it reminds you of those Lego kits, where you just go by the directions on the Lego instructions and you know how to put together the Death Star or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just that, so that's fine. But yeah, so it's not hard, but it's kind of fiddly, and there's the choice of parts thing that you gotta watch out for, and just making sure you don't put on something backwards, which I've only done once, and I've never, it's not been a permanent problem. I've just sort of been like, get off. So, as long as you're paying attention. All my models went together beautifully. I don't have any weird gaps, which is nice. The GW models in general actually go together.
Although Flo
quite
seems to
beautifully.
think she found a mold line on the arm of one of your Rough Riders you have to look at.
On my Rough Rider? Oh, okay.
It's a pretty big one.
I'm sure you're wrong. I don't know. We can look at it later.
I'm totally wrong.
What do you know? So yeah, the assembly definitely seems to be a bit of a bottleneck. Although I had my Rogel Dorn for a while now, and it's still not primed.
Well, we have been painting many other things so far.
Jeremy, I am filming my first paint and talk with a 3D printed miniature, and I have an Elgato Saturn queued to be ordered with a final check from the Army.
It's an Elegoo, not an Elgato.
Oh, I'm sorry, Elegoo.
Whole different thing.
I don't know what that is either. But cool, Jeremy. Thomas, painting a Cossite Bard for Requiem. Nice. A Cossite Bard. Interesting. Patty and I played Mutants. That was super fun. Sweet, kitty. Yeah, I can't seem to win at that game that I wrote. Well, maybe that's... I mean, at least you know you... I don't know.
At least it's
Wrote
a
it in not a
challenge.
way to, like, specifically advantage you, I guess. Jeremy, also, you can pick up Patty Parler's Mutants game on Big Geek Emporium. Big Geek Emporium? Okay.
Oh, I'm not as familiar with that one.
All right. Paul, if you can't win, I'm unsure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Jacob, you know what's funny? I find Horus Heresy or 30K more interesting than 40K from a model standpoint. Well, you're a fan of the 30K vehicles, right, for Space Marines?
The Space Marines have cool vehicles from 30K. I also really like the Mechanicum. Like a lot of their robot automaton models. Like those are really cool.
Did the oh my god, what were they called? Castellan robots from Adeptus Mechanicus? They were like 30K models they brought into 40K, weren't they?
I think they're both.
I think they're both,
'Cause they're
yeah, but
for
they're
40K,
the
but-
modeling, like the aesthetic
But
style.
30K has several different variants of that, though. Like bigger and smaller ones, too.
I
And that's my favorite sort of part of Adeptus Mechanicus is that model specifically. And so the more variants of that model, like the better.
Nice. Let's see. So I don't know. I've not checked out 30K proper. It's gotten more and more interesting. I mean, the Horus Heresy box set that came out last year, I want to say. Yeah, that's right. Last May when we were in LA, we were looking at the some of the Horus Heresy boxes that were out at the game stores we checked out while we were in LA.
Yeah.
Patty, I can't decide if I want to upgrade to an Anycubic or an Elegoo counterpart. I mean, if you have one that works, just, I mean, 4K is pretty dang good. I think, is DG up to an 8K now?
I believe he is.
And I mean, I don't even know what the benefit necessarily of that is, but I mean,
Bigger screen, I guess.
bigger build plates, right? So that would be the thing. Have you looked into Mantic's Warpath at all? As much as I like the 40K world, the game system I like much more. Also, I recommend taking a peek at Full Spectrum Dominance, a 6mm indie game. Ooh, 6mm is too tiny for me. I'm sorry. Like, that's what put me off of like Flames of War. They're too small.
Was it the original Epic game? I think that was
Original
6mm.
Epic, Drop Zone Commander looked like it was super fun, but the scale, man, I just know I would be dropping and losing pieces. I am.
Well, and the
inelegant.
troops seem like, to me, they start to lose like how cool they are because there's these little tiny things, and it's like sometimes you can make up for it because, like Epic was mostly Titans, and so the Titans were the miniatures.
Well, you have a BattleTech, right? Because there's
BattleTech's kinda that
dudes
way
in there
too,
that are way,
yeah.
way smaller.
But the mechs are really your dudes.
The real size,
So it kind of gets away
I mean,
with it.
there's that, and there's the tray stuff. Like, I still fancy the whole war room idea of having a monocle and a little stick that shuffles miles around. But it's like that's just an aesthetic. I don't actually want to play that way, so I just don't see myself really getting on board with that. But I'm glad for I know a lot of the historicals are fairly small in scale, so I don't look down on it or anything. It's just not my jam. Rumor expectation is new Space Hulk will just be a book this time around with a new Terminator, Tyranids, and boarding action terrain.
Yeah, that sounds right, I think.
So you still have to collect
You have to
multiple
acquire
boxes.
all of the things.
Pokemon hunt starts over again.
Hey, I'm okay with it as long as I don't have weird kill team dice.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, because if it's just a book, then,
Maybe.
you know.
Blood and Plunder. We had 10 to 12 tables, 24 players. Oh yeah, that's healthy. That's really good. Space Hulk got me into Games Workshop in 1987. Oh wow. The version we have, I think, was like 2014, 2012 maybe, is the new edition of Space Hulk we bought.
I want to say it was earlier than that. It's before we came back to Albuquerque. Because you got
We
it
bought
at
it
Game
here.
HQ.
No, we bought it here.
Game HQ held a copy for you.
Did they?
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Mike. Oh, Patty. Agreed, Paul. I even wrote the game where rolling a 0 on a d10 is the best roll. You want to roll low. That's
it's
for
a game
people
for
like
you.
me. Let's see. Andrew, wait for the new edition. It's in a few months. Pretty sure I'm not going to like it either. Thinks longingly of the start of 8th. Sure, I love Mantic's Dead Zone so much. If you like Dead Zone, you'd like Mutants. All right, there you go. Paul, then again, if you win every time, you know the people will get too good at it and stop playing because they win every game.
I like a challenge in my games.
Jeremy Scarioro. I love Mantic and play-tested Warpath and Firefight. They are great games, but Dead Zone is the best. Paul, Jacob Fisher, speaking of Doom, found a mod the other night that is the entire NES Zelda remade. It's called Legend of Doom. Yeah, Tommy saw that on my Discord yesterday or something. You're like, what is this? It's like,
Yeah, it looks awesome.
it does. Yeah, the FOMO situation with GW sure does bring out interesting creations on the web. I've also transitioned to almost entirely non-GW games, though. And I do wonder how much of GW's market share is falling off into other games out of like an exhaustion. You know, it's like I don't hate GW games. I'm not, an activist against GW. I'm just tired of the fight. And so this is just a more,
A relief.
yeah, like a fun path. And I have enough of a community to play this with me, which honestly is all you need.
I
Whenever
mean,
you're ready, I'll put up the death decree.
at the height of War Machine, I mean, that's exactly who they were scooping up.
That's
I still
true.
remember at Adepticon, like the double doors you'd go into the 40K tournament area.
Mm-hmm.
At those double doors, there were a couple of stands that
Yeah.
Privateer had set up where
The
they had
demo
demo
games.
games right outside the door.
It's,
It's kind of great.
Had some balls there. Appreciate that. So yeah, that whole idea is frustrating, and even for me, like doing like, okay, I'll play GW. Like we've got a really good community in Albuquerque. Like the game stores here, people have been super awesome. So the game has been a fun experience, and I'm not chasing crazy meta. Like I got the new Lord Leontis because he's a horse, and I want a horse. And I have the Attilan Rough Riders because they're horsies.
Is he part of the horse heresy?
I would say yes, but Leontis is super loyal and would never be a heretic, so no.
Well, he's on the good side of the horse heresy.
Oh.
It's an entire separate equine situation that they had in the 41st millennium.
Why'd they have to get rid of Bretonians? Anyway, yes. So, but those are just models. I haven't even, gotten to play with him yet. There you go. There you go. Oh, yes, and there's my Deathcore Krieg. So these are two different units that are a little bit mixed and matched on here, so you can see the two different
Color schemes.
Yeah, the two different color schemes we went with. So one, I really liked the dark British dour navy look, and then we went with also another more deserty camo kind of look.
The
Both of which
look
work.
that they have in Dark Tide.
Yeah, the Dark Tide look. Which, I don't know, are you guys still playing Dark Tide? I want to. I swear that game is fun. Kitty, I never finished any of the Zelda games, but I love them all. I'm still working on Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, barring some of the weird handheld stuff and the Hyrule Legends or whatever that weird game was, it's probably the only Zelda game I've never played. And I'm finally giving myself a late birthday present and buying my Nintendo Switch because they have the new game. What the heck's it called? Midnight in Hyrule, or the I've got to look
The
it
new
up
Zelda
now.
game.
Midnight in the Garden of Hyrule.
New
Good and Evil in the
Legend
Garden of Hyrule.
of Zelda game. Why is caps lock on? Skyward Sword? Really, Google? You are out
Way
of time.
behind.
Tears of the Kingdom will be coming out May
Just a
10th
little
or
off.
something like that. Tears, midnight, tears. Same thing. Anyway,
Gonna cry in bed where no one can see it.
this is getting way too deep here. But yeah, so I'm finally getting that, which means I have to get Breath of the Wild and play the hell out of it so that I can get Tears of Midnight and just basically stop showing up for work, I think is probably what's going to happen for all of May. We'll see. I don't know. I'm so excited, though. I miss Zelda so much. In fact, I heard a rumor that made my blood run cold. What did they end up doing instead? It was the Amazon
it was
series.
the I'm trying to remember their names. It was the guys that did Rings of Power.
Okay.
It
So,
was the two-person producer team that did that.
so yeah, whatever producers
forget their
were
name.
trying to who created the Rings of Power,
Butchered the Rings of Power. And
which I don't know, I haven't seen. It doesn't sound interesting, and I don't have time for TV hardly at all. Anyway, but what am I saying? Sorry, the cleaning crew are doing their thing in the other room when they're not supposed to. So cool. But the people who ran that apparently initially pitched to Amazon making a show or a movie of The Legend of Zelda, and I didn't realize how much I don't want that until he told me that, because it, like, the cold sweats, like that kind of panic feeling set in of like, please, for the love of God,
leave Zelda.
just leave Zelda alone. Just leave Link and Zelda and Gant, the whole world alone. Don't touch it, you'll break it. There's no way you are competent enough to do anything that I will respect about it. I don't normally feel that way about most stuff, but I did about Zelda, man. Ishiabe! Hello! See, Patty's. Oh, I forgot to mention that Mutants is a free download. There's also a pay what you want option in case you like it. Love it. Nathaniel, welcome, welcome. See, Patty and I are in different states for a few weeks. Aww. Miranda, any fun with Mark IV Kador so far? No. And I feel bad because Privateer actually sent me the Winter Core box. So I need to get that assembled and, like, at least sort of an unboxing or something with that. And I bought the guard towers that they had the promotion for as well, like a month ago, which looks super cool. And so it's like all this really pretty terrain and models that I've wanted to paint. But March, again, was a really chaotic month of doing a lot of non-wargaming stuff. It was really like doing
Everything else.
well, a lot of movie-related stuff and running Valhalla, like getting the Valhalla Kickstarter going and pushing on that. So I just haven't messed with it, but I've got it in a part of the studio to get looked at. But no, I haven't played any Mark IV games at all, and it's kind of sitting a little bit on the back burner to try and get other channel projects done. Let's see. Where are you? At the store or something? No, we have a studio space here in Albuquerque we rent, but our next door person runs like an escape room, and they have a cleaning crew that comes in once a week, and they're not supposed to come in while we're doing this, but sometimes they do anyway. Let's see, Patty, Miranda really loves Zelda. I do. I feel so bizarrely protective of it, and I mean, it's not mine, and I get that, but man, I just don't, like, we already had the animated series, right? And it's like, I don't want it. I don't want anything they're going to think of. I just want my video games. Even if
You
they
don't
go...
want the princess to excuse anybody? By the way, it's J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay.
Yes, if they can just stay the absolute hell away from Zelda forever, I would appreciate that. And I don't know that I'd want anybody messing with that series. Just like, no. Because think about it. Like, one of the best things about Link is, like, he's your
silent.
avatar. Well, he's you. And so, like, what personality are you going to give him in a movie? That's not, I don't know, that really translates well. The closest, honestly, I can think of is, like, Tom Cruise's character in Legend. Was it Jack? I think is his name.
Yeah.
Because he's just very generic kind of hero, you know, innocent and optimistic, but not much to him.
And heroic. He's
And
willing to go
heroic and
do it.
brave. Well, yeah, he has the
Well, yeah,
drivers of
brave, there you
courage.
go.
He's got to be brave. And it's like, man, I don't trust anybody at Amazon to know what the Triforce means, to be respectful at all of any of these characters. Just stay away. So, anyway. Maybe I'm just too used to being disappointed. Patty, yes, Big Geek Emporium is the new kid on the block, trying to break up that drive-through RPG monopoly. Savage Brewski.
Drive-through RPG is the one I was trying to remember. I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
remember that.
That's the one I think Drive-Through RPG is the last place I saw that you could actually buy like the Skull Island books for Privateer
Oh.
Press. I think. Wolfgang Felix, hello. Still deciding on whether to say something. Okay. Kitty, my connection is not good. I'm in a little cabin in the woods with no cell service and the Wi-Fi is lagging, so I think I'm behind in the conversation.
All right, but if you find an old recording that's in the basement, don't play it.
Don't
You
read
see
the
a-
Latin.
If you see a book that appears to have been made from human skin, maybe don't try to read it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And if you do, make sure there's a chainsaw on hand.
Well, in case you need it for your hand.
On hand.
Nice. Space Hulk 3rd edition was 2009, and a reissue of 3D came out in 2014. So we're in 3rd edition, the one we have.
But we got it in 2009.
Really? Okay. Wolfgang, hi, my eyes were closed listening to music. I wonder what is being said, but I like not knowing better. Okay. Let's see, when's the movie coming out that you star in? Well, I'm not starring in, I'm supporting in, but the movie is called Craving, and it came out on March 8th. And we actually went to the premiere, actually. Good segue. I've got video. I can show you. Check this out. Oh, yeah. This was me at the red carpet premiere of Craving at the Lamley Theater?
Lamley?
I think Lamley Theater in North Hollywood. So it was super fun hanging out with the cast. First time I got to see the movie. And so far, it's been out on Amazon and Google Play and what was the other one?
Oh, I'm trying to remember what the other one was.
Oh,
Was it
YouTube. It's
Apple?
on YouTube. That's where we bought it.
Was it on? You could buy it on YouTube?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's on YouTube and Amazon, but it's
But
getting
it's $4
mostly
on Amazon right now if you
yeah.
want to watch it.
It's mostly getting really good reviews, so check it out. Pretty fun. So yes, that already did come out.
And they're always looking for more reviews.
Yeah, or at least ratings. They're up to 30
It's about 130 ratings.
Something.
Oh, on Amazon?
on
I don't know how
Amazon.
many
We're trying
ratings.
to get to 50. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Jacob, question: How can you get good bonding studs for 30K models? Because I may be looking for stuff to make 30K models and 40K models. Bonding studs? I don't know what that means. I'm just thinking of like those punk rock
Like the little chrome studs that you
that you
attach.
bejewel your stuff with.
You bling up your black leather with.
Yeah, basically.
This is beyond our knowledge.
Even when I had my goth phase as a kid, I didn't care about the studs. Like there was
I
something
never did the studs.
very try hard about that for me. To me, I couldn't do it. So, and I also didn't feel like I looked good in it. Like I looked like I wanted to fight, I couldn't win or something, and that's just not a position I wanted to be in. Let's see. Attention to details, nice. Spaztech, what's up, nerds? Hello. Oh, darn, now you got me looking into Drop Zone Commander. Curse your subversive powers of chaotic persuasion. Merely suggestion, my friends. Getting around the sun they go, indeed. Paul, the FOMO is getting out of control. Pre-order for The Lion goes up at 10 a.m. and then the GW website crashes at 10:02. Does not come back till 11 a.m. and is all sold out. Yeah, I saw most of Luton's video about it, and he's not wrong. I mean, you think the idea of a pre-order, where you pre-order something, is so the manufacturer can know how much to make. Instead, they're just like, well, we have decided we're only going to make this many, and then just get the fans to, like, Black Friday crawl over each other on the internet, and then crash the website, and just make everyone have this really terrible experience, and then wonder, oh, why are they going to 3D printers? This isn't fair. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Whoever's in charge of that is about a decade behind on the technological front. Let's see, Fairbanks, I'm assuming Flo painted all of these since it's been over a year since I've seen Miranda pick up a brush. Well, to be
Miranda
fair,
still picks up brushes.
I do.
Miranda painted some of them.
I did. If you want, you
all
can
the ones
grab
you've
the
seen
command
so
squad.
far
Okay.
have been painted by me.
Also, I've been painting the tanks.
Yeah, Tommy's been painting the tanks. I painted my command squad. And then Flo's been painting basically everything else because she is significantly faster than us.
So what have I painted so far? 2 squads of Deathcore Krieg, 2 squads of Cadians, your heavy artillery,
My Scions.
your Scions.
Yeah, the heavy artillery too. My Bullgren.
You guys
The both Bulgren.
painted Bulgren, right?
I had some ones that were painted from quite a while ago, but can we get some?
There you go. Figure it.
I show you the stuff I worked on. In fact, I posted this on my Facebook and Twitter because I was super proud of my flag work.
These over here, and I'll put those up.
Okay, thank you. So, I had that. I still enjoy painting my faces and putting those on there. But just from a bulk standpoint, it just became impractical for me to keep going. Wolfgang Felix, one guy is reading and fighting at the same time. Super smart soldier. Yes.
He's good at multitasking.
Yes. He's talking about my lovely little...
And are they in focus is going to be the question.
Oh, yeah, let me check that. Let's make sure, because they're probably not. Ooh, look at those little guys. See, I'm really proud of them, actually. Get them all. Yeah, see that chick in the front? I got her all painted up. So there you go. That's the Cadian Command Squad. Got them. Let's push him up a little bit to the front. And then that flag, which took me for freaking ever, but also felt fun.
You still need to add the writing to it?
Who what?
Were you going to add writing to it?
I don't know. I was looking into maybe adding decals, and then I decided to finish the rest of the squad before I made that decision. Clearly, I still haven't made that decision. Let's see. The movie Miranda was in is Craving. It's on Amazon. The next is going to be a while. Yeah, so I actually am in another production that will be filming September, October, which will be a very busy time of year for me, but we'll make it work. I'm the Stern Guard for the day. See, Jeremy, Breath of the Wild is the only Zelda game I finished, and that was by accident. What? Oh man, Ocarina of Time. I probably played and finished
Played it
that
3
game
times at least.
like 20 times.
Damn.
I would play it annually and replay it because I loved it
I
so
didn't
much.
have enough time.
And when the remasters came out on the Nintendo DS, I bought that one and the remaster for Majora's Mask. I played those again, and I just love being in that world so much. So anyway, must be a good
Things
story.
Miranda is passionate about.
Yeah, I checked most of the transports were gone. See, already. Tonight I'm working on a Pirates of the Caribbean inspired Pirate Warning Island. Pirate Warning Island? Ooh.
So it's going to have like the hanged men on it. It says, pirates beware.
Nice.
I like the space janitors.
Andrew Fairbanks, supposedly Mario movie had a lot more Peach Boss Girl to the beta Mario, and Nintendo told them to back down. I'm glad they did, because honestly, she still had
I'm so
quite a
sick
lot
of
of that.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, no, I heard that from was it like the Midnight's Edge people had mentioned that. And
Good on them.
of the 27 movies we've seen in the theater so far this year, Mario was one of them, and it was very like it's okay. My little brother liked it a lot more, and he's a much bigger Mario fan. And he also was big on like the Sonic movies as well. So
I enjoyed the Sonic movies.
yeah, I should probably see them at some point.
But I liked Sonic a lot growing up also.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the Mario movie yet.
yeah.
But from what I can tell, it's very fan catering. It's just what
It is. It totally is. There's a lot of fan
It's-
service, and there's a lot of nods and things that you'll catch if you've watched it. If you like Donkey Kong, you're gonna get a lot of Donkey Kong as long as you can stomach Seth Rogen's laugh. But it's fine. Like, it's not a bad movie at all. Bowser's honestly the weakest character probably in it for me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I liked the D&D movie a lot more.
The D&D movie surprised the heck out of me because the trailers made it look stupid. And then you actually watched it and you're like, oh my gosh, there's mature themes in here, and people aren't like fumbling over themselves and hurting themselves because they're so incompetent. Like, everyone knows what they're doing, which is really refreshing to see in a movie, especially about magic. So.
Well, and I really liked the Easter egg they had in there with the little Saturday morning cartoon D&D characters that were in the maze. I recognized them right away,
Of
but
course you
I used
did.
to watch that cartoon when I was a kid.
Then came Mario and changed everything. Let's see. Every time you say, Miranda, I suddenly worry I might suddenly sit still until I starve and start eating everyone I see.
I don't know that reference.
Okay, I don't know that reference either. Yeah, leave our Legend of Zelda analog, LOL's movie. It's timeless and fun.
Oh, there was a
No.
fan one. Little fan short film for Zelda that was really good. Remember?
My brothers and I made a fan movie when we were kids. My little brother was Link. I was the costume designer for it, of course.
How old are you guys?
I was probably 12. And yeah, probably about 12. And then my brother would have been like 17. So he sort of led the filming stuff, and then we got everything done. I got to do Foley
How
work.
old was Link?
Link would have been 8.
So he was little.
Yeah,
Like
he was
Eerie
little.
Link.
He was Kid Link running around, and we had the sword. Yeah, I guess we had a little toy sword for him. It was a wooden sword, and we had the tunic, and we belted that. We ran around an area of Ossining, New York called T-Town, which is a really beautiful like botanical park basically, and so we just run and gun it shooting in there. And so we made this whole trailer of fighting whatever, and I had like this big cloak on because I was like some sort of bad guy that he would fight, and we did all the Foley noises, and we had the VHS to VHS recording and timed out when things would hit on the Foley
Yeah,
sounds.
that's the best.
It was magic. I really need to see if my brother can find that because I will share that with people. I was so proud of it. I think I'm proud of it. I don't know. We were kids. How can you not be proud of it? So then there's probably like a better made fan movie.
But that one's important,
I was so obsessed with that world. So let's see, the next Resident Evil CGI movie, Death Island, looks good though. Epic, goofy action, over-the-top plots, love it. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. So that's Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield and Leon. And then it's pretty ridiculous, and you're like, sure, whatever. To be honest, the cleaning crew on Neighbors are not that bad. Barely hearable, actually. Oh, that's good to hear. I can't fully tell. Oh, the laser eater. What's up, everyone? Looking forward to a guard match in 10th edition when your tanks are mega tough. Cheers. Hey, Louise. Yeah, so I guess I'm assuming all of our tanks are going to go up in toughness because the transports from the from some of the sneak peeks that you can get on like spiky bits, rhinos are like toughness 10. And repulsors are like toughness 12, which means I'm assuming my Leaving Russes better be toughness 12? We'll see. So basically, it looks like 10th edition is going to get super, super crunchy, which means you're going to have weapons that probably are somehow armor piercing. Like, I know there's the AP factor, but it's going to be maybe like by a either bigger factor or by like a fraction or something. Like, halves your armor. I feel like that might be the way the weapons end up going because we've had an inflation of toughness. Let's see. Spaceman Vic. Shame they're making Space Hulk a collect and play instead of a box set. Probably nets them way more money. Probably. She grew up in that cabin. She probably wrote that book. Literally on hand. Klaatu Barata necktie.
Nickel.
Humans all sick. That's cool. I'll go watch it. Yeah, give it a go. Shotguns are definitely the best tool in disposing of demons. Well, depends on what kind of demon. Did watch The Pope's Exorcist last night. There was no shotgun in it. Well, was there a shotgun in the beginning?
There was.
Okay, there's one shotgun in that movie. That wasn't what they used on any demon. Let's see. Paul Rodenizer. He's talking about the little rivets on the Space Marine shoulder pads. Ew. Your girl, ECAT, and Boydrusk are scaring the War Machine meta. Oh, Ekaterina? Oh, so I guess they're pretty tough, huh? It's good to hear. Like to hear that Cato are representing. Maybe they can make some friends this edition. That'd be nice if they weren't just the cartoon villains in every bit of the lore. Anyway, Luton is usually on point. I agree, Mike. I love listening to him. And it's funny because even when you can tell he's upset, he's just too polite to ever sound upset. He just sounds like this perfectly reasonable person, even though in his mind he might be ranting. I don't know. Like,
who is?
Luton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you hear him, you're like, are you mad right now? I can't tell. You're too British for this right now. Stop it. Gorgeous dress. I know, I loved it so much. I felt so fancy. Pete's Chicken Fried Gaming. Yeah, not too big in love with GW's release methods. So many starter sets are just too hard to get. Well, and it just makes me not, like, I don't want to bother with it. If I can go to my game store and pre-order through them, whatever pieces, which I did. I got the Rogel Dorn and I got the Leontis and the Tillin Rough Riders and all that. Got them through there, and it was fine. If it has to be like a headache and I'm having to, like when we bought tickets for BlizzCon, like it was a stressful thing. You had to be on the website at a very specific time, reloading the page, hoping to get in to like a lottery system even to be able to get it. And it's just not fun. Like if you have that many people clamoring for your stuff, then like find a bigger venue or make more stuff, especially when you were selling physical product. Like what the hell? But then no one but scalpers actually get the products. Well, and that was one of the things I was mentioning earlier. Like if you're gonna do a release method where you have to pre-order, then I think one of the things that might help the scalper issue is if people have to go to a physical store to get their stuff. And while I know that cuts out a lot of people who can't get to a physical store or order from a physical store, at least the stores, all of those individually, can kind of safeguard against the person who's like, I want 10 of this model, and with the idea of scalping it. So not foolproof, obviously, but
But a step in the right direction.
something. GW, bad press is better than no press. Explains the OOS and website crashes. Such a shame. That Sylvaneth box set never even made it. I'm painting some more Kasserkin Dooders. The Kasserkin definitely look cool, but I ended up buying a box of secondhand Guard. Like I bought it's like 150
huge
bucks
lot.
for a huge lot of Imperial Guard. Like no way we'd say no to that. It had tanks. There were like 7 Sentinels in there, which I don't think I've used any of them. Bulgren, and then yeah, like just a ton of Acadian models, some
like
Catachan.
100 dudes at least.
At least 100 dudes, and like 35 Tempestus Scions. And since that model hasn't changed, I'm like, cool, I got all the Scions I need.
And you already had a unit of them or something like that. So
yeah, I did
there's
already have a unit from the Kill Team box. So yeah, I just fill out my Scions. That worked out great. Which is part of why I didn't bother with Kasserkin, because the other stuff was just fun to have. I like the new models, except for the Vox. Really? I don't know, the Vox looks pretty well.
I love all the tubing around.
On the command squad, the Vox is, I don't know,
Vox
fun.
is great.
I was very excited. Now, it's hard to tell in that group, but that squad, because all of the models, I guess now, you have the different head options are basically all male, female. So I was like, screw it. I just made the whole command squad like all ladies. But not like you can tell. The most you can tell is the leader with the bolt gun, or the bolt pistol, And then the box caster, because she's got a little bunch, like her tight, I don't know, 1950s schoolhouse mistress.
School marm.
Yeah. And then she's just like
I think you
shouting
did
her head off into a box caster. I was like, this is legit. Going in there.
It's her angry Frau
Yes.
hair buns.
Yes, exactly. Should we tell them? Let's see. I want to get if I can find another kill team starter so I can build the commandos and the Krieg vet guardsman options. I missed that the first time around. So we had from a kill team set. That's where both my Krieg came from, right? The Octarius box set. That's kill team.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, you spot 2 of those.
Yeah. My worst GW release was some Zinch dice 10 years ago. Didn't order online as I'd be in town that day. Got to the store 10 minutes after opening. They had 1 in stock. They were sent 2. I kind of remember that. The most traumatic one would have been the Catachan Commander model, the one that looks like Dylan from Predator, because each store, and it was during COVID, each store got 2 of them to do whatever with. And I actually was able to nab one of those. That was probably like my lucky yoink out of that. But if it was going to be a big boatload of trouble, I wouldn't have done it. And I finished the first 2 Legend of Zelda games on NES. Zelda 2, oh my gosh, plus the one on the Game Boy, something about a windfish. Ballad of the Windfish. Oh, I remember playing that, I think on the Game Boy Color? Game Boy Color was my first well, it wasn't my first handheld. The first one was actually the Sega Game Gear, but it got stolen from me when it went through the airport. Like, it was in my bag, and someone just rifled through my bag and stole it. So
Of course.
I did not, after my luggage conveniently got lost, which I think was also the first time I ever flew on a plane, now that I think about it. But either way, so I lost my Game Gear. And then later got a bright neon, like lime green Game Boy Color. And it was just near and dear. Played, well, a lot of Pokemon, but also Zelda.
You're like, well, yeah.
I cannot stomach Seth Rogen. Yeah, there's a tolerance limit, sure. Please, no spoilers on the D&D movie. No, it's just good. Go see it. Like, honestly, D&D is a genuinely pleasant surprise to
I
me.
don't like spoilers either, and I have not seen it yet, so, you're good.
Andrew, trailer made the D&D movie stupid. The producers were pushing politics, and Hasbro popped off with the OGL, and Hasbro has popped off. Yeah, so I'm guessing D&D, that's part of why they're not maybe doing that well in the box office, because I heard it's floundering. But it's a really good movie. Let's see, Chris Pine plays a bard. Yes, but there's more to that. Jeremy, my daughter said the D&D movie is her favorite movie ever.
But what I would say is it's like they actually treat him well instead of just like, haha, he's a stupid bard, everyone hates him. It's
He's a
not that.
competent
It's
bard.
actually an interesting
He's an
story.
actual bard.
Yeah, he's an actual bard.
Oh my gosh. Scarrier 3? The reference he was making was Firefly. That's right, that was Miranda. I forgot about that. It was the name of the planet. Serenity made the Reavers not stupid in Firefly.
Oh, was that the planet they were on when
Miranda,
where
yeah.
they
Yeah, I forgot about
created-
that.
What was it, a drug that would just make them always happy or something like that?
Yeah, it was like a
They
big
pumped-
pacifier.
They pumped something into the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it backfired.
What? Who could ever see that coming?
No. So, thank you for catching that. Favorite movie ever? Have you seen Megan? It's the best movie of the year. It's so freaking good. It's like
really good.
It's the best movie of the year.
Yeah, Jeremy,
I
I feel
thought
like
it
your
was gonna be
daughter would probably
stupid.
like
I
Megan as
loved it.
well.
Jeremy, I feel like you will like Megan. Let's see, just filling that round now because my job is done. Anti-vehicle 3+ weapons. Yeah, definitely see that coming. All right, let's finish up in the chat here. And then I did want to plug a couple of things because we've got like 15 minutes left. Let's see. Finally, las cannons are useful. Yay! Oh, they've been useful when you get your shot off. Let's see. I'm really looking forward to 10th. 9th is just a hassle and so convoluted to play now. There are a lot of rules. I was very excited. Okay, as long as I get to keep all of my different regiments of guard playing together, like the Death Corps play with the Catachan that play with the Krieg that play with the Cadians, that play with the Scions. As long as I can mix my regiments and use all of the stuff, then I will be happy. I'm also perfectly happy to not have to memorize 30 stratagems. But even that, coming from War Machine, kind of not that big a deal. But at the same time, I understand. Like, if they're going to simplify it, we'll see how they simplify. Let's see. Auspix Tactus is probably the best 40K news and rumors channel. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Pretty minis. How are you, Miranda? Mikey, thank you. These are actually the minis I painted. And then everything else is what Flo painted, because she is faster and better. For me, the 2-player sets are less about the FOMO on product and more about the FOMO that it's the only way to get a deal on a product beyond the usual 15 to 20%. Yeah, I mean, the Cadia Stands box set had way more value for $170 or whatever, which is what you could get it on Amazon, or if you pre-ordered it, for compared to like if you bought all of those models individually. Imagine selling a Baneblade variant for a lower price than market value or more than market value. Yes. Let's see. They're pretty handsome, Lady. Cadia is an equal opportunity warfighting team. Yeah, I mean, cannon fodder's cannon fodder. Jeremy, I think you mean she has a military regulation female haircut.
Yeah.
It's a school marm bun. Let's see. I think GW is saying all female guardsmen are incredibly buff. They're wearing the Robert Pattinson padding in Batman.
Only the Catachan ones.
I believe it with Catachan. Look at those chicks. You're like, I believe you. Yeah, military haircut is full buzz cut. Catachan is muscle mommy regiment. It would sell faster than the Lion, right? Well, the toughest girls in the galaxy models, like those seem to do perfectly fine. That's why I never bring models with me. I didn't like Megan. What is wrong with you, Jeremy? Anyway,
I mean,
Megan is an amazing movie, and it's really freaking sharp, and it's amazing satire, and I loved everything about it. And everything else is wrong. Megan is pretty relevant with all the AI talk, dude, right? Jacob, damn it, 15.
Like Nathaniel's.
How do Reavers clean their spears? They wash it.
Oh no. They wash it.
They wash it. They wash it. Do you still play War Machine? I haven't. I would, but I haven't. Let's see. I saw Megan solely on Tommy's recommendation. Aw, look at Patty respecting your opinion.
All right.
Jamie, it was
I mean,
okay.
we saw it solely on Tommy's recommendation also.
Yeah. Miranda
Yeah,
was not
you
even...
fought for it because I was like, that trailer looks stupid as shit. I'm not watching that. And then I watched it and I was like, this is my favorite movie of the whole year. This is the best movie of the year.
To be fair, I didn't think the trailer looked any good either.
No. It was okay, but not the style of movies I enjoy. Hey, J. Alex, how you doing? AI are cringe. AI is interesting. It wrote an amazing little screenplay for us the other day about, what was it about, honey?
What was it about? It was, which one?
Well, okay, there's
There was the one with the chupacabras.
the chupacabras and the Sasquatches.
Which I think you like that one because
I
it was
do,
like fully.
because it was amazing.
But I tested it on one where I was having it write a scene with a mom and a daughter, and the mom wanted her to buy a tarantula. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of funny.
And it wrote like a PSA. Like at the end lesson is, okay, Mom, I'll buy a tarantula. I'll give it a shot. Like it was amazing. Like I want to make these movies. Have you ever played BattleTech? Alas, no. Even though I live in like a BattleTech mecca state because Albuquerque
loads of people here play
loves
BattleTech.
BattleTech. And it looks cool, and I would.
That's another thing you have to learn more rules for and have more models for and put more money into.
I mean, I'm sure-
It doesn't even require that
It
many
doesn't
models.
require that much. No, I'm sure I could even go to the game store and like borrow someone's army and learn it. It's just like getting there, doing it. It really is like the task management
Time is
thing.
not on our side.
Another part that I added there.
Yes, that's true. It's been a whole thing. One of my big things of the year. I've been trying to try to figure out how to get on the other side of some of my projects because I have felt buried for quite some time. And one of the ideas was like, well, if I take a break from the live streams, maybe I can set aside that time to do these other projects. And I don't think that really worked out the way I intended, because just because you stop doing one thing doesn't actually mean that you have the time from it you think you do, because other stuff will just grow and absorb that time unless you're actively like beating it off and like combating it. And so
She got an army almost built.
have an army almost built, yeah, but that's
Step
probably could have
forward.
happened during live streaming, or no, maybe not during live streaming, but in addition to. So, ho hum. I watched it on Patty's recommendation, so by proxy, I guess it was Tommy's. I'll take it. Hollywood has lost their ability to make a half-decent trailer. I agree. I guess the trailer for Renfield is fairly on point. It doesn't give away the story, but it does a decent job of representing the movie.
One was probably one of the best trailers, though, because after we got to the end of the first act, I remember leaning over and telling Miranda, like, I've seen everything on the trailer now. Like, I have no idea where this goes at this point. I haven't seen any more images.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
But yeah, I agree. Like, that's rare.
Jeremy, I'm using AI to help generate stories for the games I'm planning on filming. Let's see, my favorite line in Megan. Suck it, Hasbro. Let's see, the Kickstarter has 24 hours left and it's over 6.5 million with 22,000 backers.
Which Kickstarter?
Possibly a new Battletech Kickstarter, I'm assuming.
No, okay.
Let's see, how do you not have time? You don't have children. I have so many projects you don't even know. Let's see. Is this the big time? Let's see, what are some of the next projects on the channel? Well, that is a great question. First off, let's see. In fact, I'm just going to take a segue from it because the chat keeps going. And as much as I love it and appreciate it, I do want to make sure I get these other things pointed out to everybody. So 2 things that I want to share with you all. This is not my project, but a dear friend of ours, it is his project. He's a 3D modeler. I think he modeled for like League of Legends, right?
No, Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2, sorry. He modeled for Guild Wars 2. And so like, he knows what he's doing. And so he launched a Kickstarter, and I advertised it on my Facebook, so you may already see it now, but it's this lovely, lovely jam here. It's 3D printed terrain. And so these are these like modular rocks that, let's just mute that tab and kind of play a little bit of it. So I wanted to advertise it. I backed it, and we've printed off some of the things. I'll show you one of the printouts we got. Kind of a quick and dirty one, but that we printed. It still came out really nice. So it's basically really modular terrain. Works great for fantasy, border edges. It's just super pretty, super well scaled. I don't think you had any problems printing it.
No, most of it doesn't even require supports.
Yeah. So I did want to share with everybody, if you haven't seen it, his work is really beautiful. He had some of this terrain at, in fact, these models I believe he had at Valhalla when they were playing Age of Sigmar, and he had a few different arrangements of it where they were kind of in more of an enclosed
Kind of a cul-de-sac, is that like what you're trying to say?
Cul-de-sac. No, I'm trying to think of like when you're going where the mountains are on either side. You're
Like
going
a
to a
valley?
chasm. What?
Like, not a valley, but like a...
Canyon.
Canyon.
Thank
there
you. Why was canyon not the word I could find? But anyway, just really cool stuff. So I did want to share that with everybody because it's cool and he's a good guy, and yeah. So if that's your jam and you're running around 3D printing, it's like $45 gets you everything. Unless you do a merchant's license. So, highly recommend you check that one out because it's pretty cool.
Here, you can show the one we printed.
Yes.
So that's printed at 0.24, I think. Like, it is a really fast
Yeah, this was
print.
a super. Yeah, I just moved the thing out of the way.
I mean, you can set it on the thing.
I don't know that it would work well because it's so huge.
It does. I was doing it earlier.
Oh, you were? Okay,
Yeah,
well, fine. That it needs to back up the camera.
Well, the camera can't go any further back, so this needs to come this way. And this will go this way.
Okay, there we go. Ta-da! Here's our beautiful. Now we obviously have a filament printer, and so it printed out how long? A day?
No, it was less than a day. Like I said, I did it at kind of a fast setting, so
Yeah.
you'll probably see some of the lines are striation, but it's like a real low infill, and like I said, a 0.24 I think is what the infill or the layer height is, and so like even at that, I mean, you can see a lot of the detail. It's too bad I use black filament because I used it for something else specifically, so it's harder to see than if this were gray filament, but you kind of get the idea.
Yeah. So.
But it's a good solid height. You hope a little miniature next to it or something. And that's the default height that it sets it at. So yeah,
A little
that's
dude
kind
coming
of
around
what
the
we're
bend
looking
to
at there.
Sneak. I don't know.
But there's a lot of pieces, and they
You'll be coming from sorry.
they line up like you can make entire walls out of them and stuff. So I plan on actually making a bunch of desert orc terrain out of this, and put these on bases and mix them with some of the orc buildings it came with. What is it, Octarius, or I forget which one of the box sets it came with. But yeah, I plan on doing that. So this is gonna be very deserty looking terrain.
Right. So there's that shiny filament. Yeah, this is the glossy black. We order our filament from Ziltech out of Texas. They're great service, get stuff fast. So
I largely or mostly are making like costumes and props with my printer. And
Yeah,
so that's why I
important.
use the black filament. But
covered up anyway. So it's all good. Let's see. I programmed an AI once. Part of the code ended up in GPT. That was fun to see. I wonder how one of my brain babies becomes partially. It's
well,
fun
that's
to see how
cool.
one of my brain babies becomes partially famous. Yeah, no kidding. It's my birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday, Pete's
Happy
Fried
early
Chicken
birthday.
Gaming. My wife let me spend and buy some Kill Team. Managed to snag a copy of Into the Dark, though I plan to convert the minis into a Darktide Fanatic for Blackstone Fortress. Yes! I think we have it. There's a white dwarf that shows you how to convert your models into Darktide minis.
yeah.
Let's see. Do you know that AI found the Federal Reserve, right? What do you mean, found the Federal Reserve? Let's see. Battletech Mercenaries Kickstarter. Yeah, so that is the Kickstarter they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, Dana. I didn't even know you were in the chat. Let's see. Yes, but are any of them tactical? Let's see. Not even stones last forever. Oh, but they last longer than us. Dang, now I need these. Thanks, Tommy. And then the final thing,
That's right.
one of the
Go back it.
projects that we had been working on, that we had talked about for over a year, we finally got started, even though it's not even fully done. We finally made a channel merchant store.
Can I see the thing real quick so I can put this up?
Oh my gosh, so needy.
I know.
Oh yeah, so there's one
wanna-
example. We ordered some samples, and that's the only thing that's arrived so far. So, shipping speeds might be what they
Get
are.
it to focus on
Focus.
there.
It's on
He's blurry.
autofocus.
Yeah, it just
Which
wants
means
to
it's
focus
focusing
on the
on-
background.
It's focusing on Adam's stuff. Who cares about that right now? My goodness. Eh. Zip. Nope. Wrong way. Yep. That way. Yep. Right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. There you go. Ta-da. All right. So yes, we have a merchant store that appears, I think, under the channel videos now, and we made stuff. We have the sticker and some of the logo stuff, and then we also made this kind of fun logo T-shirt, which some of you '90s kids may recognize, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, I used to be a big skater in the 90s, but I keep seeing everybody running around with these
Get it in lovely pink.
Thrasher magazine merch everywhere. And it's just it's weird to see, but I was like, oh man, wait a minute. I know what I could do with that.
Yeah.
So
So
if you
that was
wanted to
kind
be
of
a
fun.
cool kid, you could get some of that merch.
Or a pillow, or a tumbler, or a icon wall flag thingy, or beach tote. I don't know. It was it took some doing getting some of this up. It's amazing how slow we've been operating at that. But that was actually one of the projects we did finish in the last 4 months. So I do have most of my 40K army check. I have over 2,000 points playable, just not all painted, but more than halfway painted, I would say.
I think you're just missing the tanks.
tanks
get
and
the
like
tanks
some
finished.
leaders, like getting solar and my Attilan Rough Riders.
Well, but I mean, you don't even need those for a
I
playable
don't.
2,000 points.
I definitely have stuff. So got that done. Got the store done. Booked another movie gig, so that's cool. Got Valhalla's like Kickstarter funded and all that planning like underway. Trying to actually make it a really, really exciting year for Valhalla this year too. And then trying to think of what else. Like we've seen a lot of movies, but that never changed. Like we just always went to the movie every week. So
Yeah, we see a lot of movies.
and out of again the 27 movies we have seen so
Very
far. in
little
theaters,
television, but lots of movies.
Very little television. Yeah, we still haven't even caught up on Cobra Kai. Like, and that I genuinely love, but yeah, not hard. Is 3D print received? Yes, it is a 3D printed. That Kickstarter was 3D printed for sure. I did wonder about that logo pint glass. Yes, Paul. See, how do you like the Pro Acrylic paints? How do you like them, Fluffo?
I like them. Especially the black and the white. The white is amazing. It's the only white I use now.
I think their yellow is super popular too. So there's a certain amount of
Yellow's
like
just always a pain
coverage.
in the butt, no matter where you get it from. But
I know one of the things Jason talks about, like who makes the paints, is that all of the paints are made from the same like type of pigment, so they
mix them really well.
Yeah, they mix evenly. But I mean, I like the dropper deal as long as you have a place to put it,
And I have a
so
wet
you don't
palette,
have you don't have to like dig out all the cakey ugliness from the
yeah,
neck
it's so much better to have the dropper.
of the paint pots. But yeah, no, they've been great. I shall also get one of those cups to drink my whiskey from. Do you ship to Brazil? I don't know.
It's through spring.
Yeah, it's
so
through spring. So
yeah, it's wherever they ship.
it's literally the one that like just connects to your YouTube channel, and
So I
That's
feel
the
like they
thing.
ship overseas.
they ship
out
worldwide.
of country. Yeah,
yeah.
pretty sure.
Miranda wants to promote her merch. Cam says no. Yeah, what else is new? Fighting technology. But congrats on the movie gig. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it. It's another creature feature, and basically anything with practical effects I will always be a sucker for, so whatever. Jeremy, I shall only be 1,250 points once the new edition comes out and all the points change.
Oh, I know, right?
Don't say that. What's the link to the merch? So let me see if I can find a link directly to the merch.
So, I mean,
Yes.
it should be underneath any of our videos, right?
It
At
is,
this point?
but I am also going to shove it in the chat because someone asked, and now I don't feel bad putting it in there.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. That logo glass looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it came out pretty good because you get the image on, you scale it the way you want, and so we were kind of testing it with these samples to see if they came out okay. And so yeah, I think I can speak. The quality's pretty good on it. So.
I actually like the coffee cup too, because there's an image on both sides. It's like two different images
Did
on
you
each
order
side
a
of the
coffee
coffee
cup?
cup.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're just waiting on the rest of the stuff to come in. So anyway, Oodle's more projects coming down the pipeline. As far as the channel immediately goes, it's probably going to be a lot of hobby-related content for the meantime. So obviously, like some Army stuff to show off. If you guys are interested, I have some assembly stuff I've recorded of assembling models. Maybe finally take on the challenge of assembling my Stormlord. Just do a time lapse of it where periodically I just sob in my chair every now and then continue.
Well, to finish it out though, it only came with 2 side sponsons, but you can actually mount 4. So I might look and see if we can order the other 2, just to make sure, because it's going to be like just this huge DACA platform. So you want as many guns out of it as possible.
Oh yeah, DACA all day long. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I will leave it here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this evening and kind of coming back to our after a long hiatus chat. It was
Welcome
delightful.
back. Stay healthy. Don't break your ankle. It hurts.
You didn't break it. Don't be so dramatic.
Actually, yeah, there is a break.
She broke her ankle.
It's just not a serious break.
So it's not great when you live on a second floor apartment.
No,
But-
I've been holed up in my apartment.
Yeah.
But I'm still painting, so stuff is going up on my Instagram weekly.
True. Yeah, that's right. Check out her Instagram, The Painter Flow. So make sure that
keep her going with
Nathaniel
that.
was asking about the pro acryl paints there. If we had the signature ones.
Oh,
like
no,
Ninja or
those
Nita.
are new. Yeah, we did not. These that we've had for a year or two probably. So just from the collection that we got from Jason, we have not gotten any of Vince Venturella's stuff or Ninjon's, but I'm sure they're amazing too. Just mail it to me and I will send it back in 2 days, fully built for you. Thanks, Jeremy. But there's something to be said about building yourself. I always tell myself that before finally pawning it off because, you know, the idea of
I
it
don't
is way
build
more
like
interesting
any of
than the
my
reality.
The only things I've built are my Harlequins. I pawn everything else off on DJ.
DJ. So it's a good system. Let's see. It was good to see you guys. Good to see you too, Patty. No, wait, don't go away for another 4 months. I won't go away.
So,
We'll do another one in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we're just going back to normal schedule.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So 2 weeks from today will be May the 3rd, and we'll have just come back from Las Vegas. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. Check out the Meow Wolf exhibit up there. Maybe, or whatever.
Go see Omega Mart.
Go see Omega Mart. Yeah, check it
Oh,
out.
let me know how it is.
Maybe. I didn't realize the price on it jumped up so much, but anyway, it is what it is. Thank you all again so much. And for your viewing pleasure, I have a sweet outro, so don't leave just yet, and I will respond to you all in the chat as well. So check this out. Barry, cover me.
All right, guys, this is it. Copy that. No more sandwiches, Barry. What's wrong with this place? I'm in the west corridor. I'm right outside the generator room. I'm out of bullets. Oh, Barry.